The Daughters of Cain moved over the ruins of the ancient temple. The sheer power emanating from this place was intoxicating, and they would claim its power for not only themselves, but for the goddess Morathi Cain as well. Little did they know, however, that they were being watched. From within the temple, ancient guardians were stirred by smaller creatures who brought news to them of plunderers and desecrators of this most sacred of sites. As the Saurus warriors were awoken from their magically induced slumber, battle was now soon to be joined in Warhammer Underworlds Emberguard. In today's game, we're going to be playing a Warhammer Underworlds Rivals format game. Now, in the Rivals format, players pick a pre-built 32 card deck known as a Rivals deck. A player's Rival deck is made from cards that only feature that deck's unique symbol denoted in the top right-hand corner of each card, which means if you have at least one Rivals deck and one Warband from the list below if you're going to a competitive scene, or you can use pretty much anything you want in a less organised setting, you have everything you need to join in with this format. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with Morgwaeth's Blade Coven. For my warband today, I've chosen to go with the Grand Alliance Crusaders abilities. This gives me the Inspire condition where immediately after a power step, if my warband holds 2 or more treasure tokens in enemy territory, I inspire each friendly fighter. And the Pioneer's ability means immediately after a friendly fighter finishes a move within 1 hex of a treasure token, I can push them 1 hex so they have to end on the treasure token. I get some cool once per game abilities like Staunch Defender where I can boost my save characteristic. Zealous Resolve means I can, until the end of the turn, can't be driven or pushed back. And Reclaim Ground means, and when I use this in a power step, I pick a friendly fighter until the next turn. Melee attack rolls of that fighter always count as having more crits. And so, the fighters in the warband, Morgwaeth is the leader. She's got 4 health and a dodge of 2, which is pretty nice. You've also got 2 dodge on Kare, though she's only got 3 health, but a 5 hex move is really nice there as well. A lot of 2 damage across the warband in various different ways, either from 1 damage standard, getting Grievous as well on the attacks. And you've got a decent amount of dice rolling for a lot of your attacks, with a lot of attacks having 3 dice abilities to use them. When you do Inspire, you see your damage increase, and you also get a lot of things like Cleave and Ensnare on your fighters, as well as getting Grievous on a bunch of different fighters as well. For our deck today, we're playing with Realmstone Raiders. Now this has a plot for it where while using this rival deck, immediately after the first successful friendly melee attack action in an attack step, you can raid a number of times equal to the bounty characteristic of the target. What the raid does is you reveal the top card of your power deck if that card is now raided. If that card is an Emberstone card, you can put that card back on top of your deck or on the bottom of your power deck. Emberstone cards have the following additional rules where Emberstone ploys and Emberstone upgrades can be used immediately for no cost, though you do require the amount of glory to upgrade your fighters still. And here we have the card listing for the deck as well. A lot of these cards will be Emberstone deploys and Emberstone upgrades to make the deck work how it should. Stephen is playing with the Jaws of Itzl in today's game. The Jaws of Itzl have the Inspire condition where after inflicting damage on an enemy fighter in an opponent's power step or action step, you can pick a friendly fighter and then inspire that fighter. Now, this is easily done with predatory fighters where if they make a successful defense roll that includes a shield, they can inflict 1 damage back on the enemy fighter. So a great easy way to sort of get their defensive benefits up and their Inspire condition. They've got some cool rules where they can move around their minion after some of their fighters activate. Savage Mauling is a great way to sort of take a enemy down when you've taken some heavy damage yourself. And Obstinate as well means a friendly Saurus that cannot be driven back until the end of the battle round. A lot of these aren't once per use per game though. Fighter-wise, for the Warband, Crojax is a really solid leader with 5 health, a defense 1, 3 move, and a 3 damage attack as standard. You do have 5 health on your other 2 Saurus as well, with that 1 defense there as well, though their attacks are only 2 damage, but Rotak does have some range in there as well. And Sotek's Venomite is a nice little fast-moving piece you've got around to give yourself an extra fighter to complete some objectives with. When they do Inspire, you get more dice on your attack rolls, and you also get some boosted defense on Crojax as well, which is really nice. And it's really nice to see just, increasing of that damage potential at least on the cards. Deck-wise, he is using the Emberstone Sentinels Rivals deck. This is a pretty simple take and hold deck with a bunch of objectives based around holding objectives, like the whole treasure token objectives, and you've also got deploys and upgrades that will base around keeping your fighters in the fight for longer. And so we are all deployed on the table. So I've got Morgwaeth front and center here. We then have Kyrie over to the flank, my good little snake lady. We then have Chrissa at the front there with Camis and Lethir behind them. Meanwhile, you've got Krojax in the middle there with Sotek's Venomites to one flank, and then both Rotak and Sokar on the opposite flank. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so we need to roll for priority for the first round. I got cross swords, Stephen got support. I'm going to take the first activation for the round. Alright, so we're going to go first with Morgwaeth's Blade Coven. To start off with, we're going to make a charge super action with Chrissa. And so we're going to attack Krojax there. We need cross swords for our attack. That'll be 2 successes. It'll also get Grievous due to the crit. So you do get a crit, but that doesn't stop. But this does mean I can push you as well. So Krojax will take 2 points of damage, and then I'll push Krojax there. After that, because you're bounty 3, correct?
Yep.
We'll get to Realmstone Raid. So the first one, I do not have the points to spend there. Second one, I can pick an objective card from your hand and put it on the bottom of my objective deck, and then draw 1 objective card. And then I'll get to draw 1 more because you're bounty 3, which I can't play. I'm then going to score Raidrock Strike because I scored merely after resolving the Emberstone Ploy ability or Emberstone Upgrade ability, and I did do the ploy. And after all that, I'm then going to play Raider's Rapture. This is the main card, so this will remain in play until the end of the round. Anytime I get to Realmstone Raid now, I do an additional card. I'm then going to play Forgotten Fortune, an upgrade, and this is going to go on Morgwaeth. And so we go over to Stephen for the first activation for the Jaws of Itzl. So you would normally move the 3 hexes there with Sotek's Venomite, but you're playing the extra mile to then push him the extra hex. That's going to allow him to move on to objective token 1 there. Alrighty, so after that, I'm then going to make another charge super action. So we make a charge then, needing to attack Sokar. We need cross swords. Nothing. You can see, yep, you'll get your defense. Get a shield. You will get to do the punch back a point of damage on me.
Yep.
And so we go into the power step then. While I won't get to play any objectives this round, I will, because I'm holding both objectives now, inspire all my fighters, because when after a power step, if I control 2 objectives in enemy territory, all my fighters inspire. Yep. And so next we go into the second activation of the Jaws of Itzl.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. You're going to make a move onto the objective there with Rotak.
Yep.
You're then going to play Settle In, where you can pick a friendly fighter. You're picking Rotak there, who's going to gain a guard token. Alrighty, we'll then make a charge super action again, this time going with Morgwaeth. So Morgwaeth has 2 dice. She is looking for hammers, and we'll get 2 successes. So shields can't succeed here because she has cleave, so you need a crit. That is not going to do it. And so then I get to Realmstone Raid with her. So the first one is Misstep. Cool, I can immediately play this. So I can pick an enemy fighter and give them a stagger token. We are going to choose to give a stagger token to Rotak there. And so there we go, staggered him. Second one is Ambush. I can't use that. And the third one I can't use because I can't play the upgrade. I will score Reckless Gambit for rating for the second or subsequent time this turn. And you're going to score Step by Step. You can score it immediately after one of my action steps. If you hold a treasure token in enemy territory with a fighter with a move, which you do. And so your third action is making a charge with Crojax.
Enter.
Alright, Crojax is going to attack Karis. You're needing hammers with Crojax?
Yep.
Yep. That'll be
Hammer.
2 successes. I need dodges
Hammer and crit.
or supports. That is 1 dodge, double support won't do it. And with that, Karis just goes right down. You're going to play by the numbers. You can draw a number of power cards equal to the number of treasure tokens held by your warband. So you can draw 3 power cards. I'm then going to make a charge super action with Lethe. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so 3 dice. We are needing cross swords. Nothing. And so last action then for the Jaws of Itzl for the round.
Movement.
Just going to make a move in there.
Putting a move token on him.
Yep. So first of all, you're going to score Supremacy. We score in the end phase of 2 or more friendly fighters with total bounty of 3 or more hold treasure tokens. You get that with your fighters there. And then you also score Careful Advance. Score this immediately after a friendly fighter moves if 2 or more friendly fighters that have move tokens are in enemy territory. Then I'll score Invade to score in the end phase if you raid any Emberstone cards and that target was holding treasure. I did that over there with Morgwaeth. We've got some upgrades to play as well. You're then going to play the upgrade of Keenite. This is going to go on Rotak. You're also going to play Great Speed to give +1 move to...
Thump.
Yep, Crojax. And so we'll go into round 2. Priority, I am the underdog. So that is double support. So unless you roll double support, you're getting the choice. Got a hammer. All right, and so the Jaws of Itzl will be taking the first action for the round.
Yep.
So Carl's making a charge then into Morgwaeth for the help of Rotak there. So 4 dice, needing cross swords for him, I believe.
Yep.
But you will get supports there as well.
And crits have the... one crit and
3
a support.
successes in total.
2.
Morgwaeth gets a crit and a success, so it's not going to be enough though, so damage. Alrighty, so after that, you got anything to play? Yep, Rotak's then going to get Agile. I'm then going to play the upgrade of Great Strength. This is going to go on Lethe in the middle. You're also going to do your once per game Savage Mauling here on Morgwaeth.
Yep, from Rotak.
So 3 wounds means 3 dice need cross swords or crits. Nothing. And so over to my turn, she's going to be making a charge super action. She's going to move down to there and we're going to attack. And so we are now going to attack Rotak. And so 2 dice needing hammers. Oh, wrong dice. And hammers, 1 success. Let's see what you can get. Crit, that's success. You don't get the punchback damage though. Alright, your turn next. Rotak is then going to make an attack into Morgwaeth.
And rather than...
Alrighty, so let's see what you can do. Needing hammers for Rotak. Nothing. And so... Stephen will then score Aggressive Defender. He attacked while holding a treasure token. And so next... well, during the power step here, I'm going to use my once per game ability of Reclaim Ground. So I'm going to then attack with Karis. And so 3 dice here. We'll see no successes on the dice. However, for pushback and that, I didn't. Because I used my once per game ability, I still can push you back and follow up. So I'll push you back and I will follow up onto the objective. And then after that, I'm going to use my once per game ability, another one of them, of Staunch Defender. For the next turn, I've got 3 dodges my defense.
Okay.
So Rotak will try and attack Morgwaeth again. 1 success this time.
Yep.
Morgwaeth, don't think that. 1 damage.
And she
we'll
has...
see Morgwaeth go down. All right, my next action we're going to go for a charge super action with Cray. Into Rotac there, so 2 dice needing cross swords. Nothing. See whether you can get a successful shield and punch a point of damage, which means he inspires. You're then going to play Sidestep after that. I'm going to move Sokar in. So your last action for the round is going to be an attack with Rotac.
Yep, 5 dice.
Into Cray, you will get supports in this. And so let's see what you can get. You got 1, so dodges. I got a crit, succeed. And so my last action for the round. And so I'm then going to go with a charge super action, then with Krissa. And so needing cross swords, supports will help here. So that is 3 successes with a crit. Not matter, that'll be 2 points of damage because the crit also gets Grievous. Krissa. And so I will get to raid twice there. The first one. Hidden knowledge, I can pick an enemy fighter adjacent to a friendly fighter and give them a move token. Put a move token on your Venomites.
Kind of pointless.
And the second one, no, it's not a card I can play. And so with that, we go into end of round scoring. So I'm going to score Hoarder's Hovel. I score this in end phase if any friendly fighters are holding a treasure token that has a value equal to their bounty. The bounty 1, treasure token 1. And so you've got some upgrades that you want to play. And so Sokar is going to have Inviolate played by Stephen. Brute Momentum is also going on Sokar. And Stubborn to the End will also go on Sokar. And so I'm then going to play Emberstone Edge. That'll be going on Krissa. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you'd like to help the channel grow some more, why not consider joining up to our YouTube members? This important feature here allows us to continue to produce more and more content of the various games you like to see on the channel. It also allows you to put in requests and ask what you would like to see more of on the channel in the future. Alrighty, so we're going into the last round. So priority, I got a crit. Stephen got double support. And so we're going to make a charge with Lethir going into Sokar. Now, because of your upgrades, I won't get any of these supports, but I'm looking for cross swords here. And that'll be a complete another fail.
See if I can punch back.
And no punch back from you though, luckily. I'm going to play Kenai as an upgrade, and this is going to go on Krissa. Sokar will then get Great Strength. And we go to Stephen's first activation for the round. Sokar will be charging. Yep. Get out of the supports. And so 4 attacks into left there.
Actually, can you...
And so...
2 of them.
Yeah, and so... Oh, that's not my defense dice. That's my defense dice. So I go down, but you will also move up as well. Yep. Then going to spend your Great Fortitude card going on Sokar as well. I'm then going to make an attack against Sokar. We're going to go with using Cray. And so Cray is going to need cross swords with her attack. Actually, we're going to make a charge super action with her. Cray's going to move back, so she gets 3 dice now with her ranged attack. So they will all go through. That won't do anything, so that'll be a point of damage. And so I do get to Realmstone raid here with her. So first one, upgrade is not one I can play. However, the second is an Emberstone upgrade. And so because you actually killed Lethir, I can play Armor Piercer. And I'll put that on Krissa. 4 as well, we had Ambush that went off as well. This meant that we can get the draws. That's the big reason that she was allowed to do what she did. Now, thanks to that and Ambush, I will score Critical Risk. I scored this immediately after raiding an Emberstone card as the preceding attack was successful. So Critical Risk goes off. And so your second action for the round?
is my
The
little...
Venomite's going to be attacking Chrissa. They will get supports in this.
Yep.
Yep, needing cross swords. One success. One success. Chrissa will then be attacking. We are going to attack Sokar. So Chrissa has 4 dice. We are needing cross swords going into Sokar. That will be just a solitary success.
I need shields.
Yep. No. I will get to Realmstone Raid from that though. And so first one doesn't. Second one is an Emberstone ploy. I can pick a friendly fighter in neutral or enemy territory and push that fighter 1 hit. Push Chrissa across there. And with that, I'll score a sure bet. I score this immediately after raiding an Emberstone card after melee attack had 3 or more dice in it. Ewan's just going to spend a card to do some draw for the round. Alrighty, so next we go into my third action for the round. I'm going to go another attack with Chrissa into Sokar. And so we are going to need cross swords. That'll be just 1 again. Can you block it? No, that'll be another point of damage. Means I get to Realmstone Raid with her again. Reforged Aid, I've got the points to spend, so I immediately equip that to Chrissa. And we can Realmstone Raid again. And I can put Brightstone Vigor on her as well.
Charging.
And so the Sotex Venomites will charge into Chrissa as your last action.
Yep.
And cross swords.
Supports.
Supports will succeed for you.
Cross swords and support.
Cool. Dodges for Chrissa. 1, but 1 fails, so damage.
Just 1.
Just 1. And it's going to push Chrissa. So that means for my last attack, she's going to have to charge. Because the charge won't take out any fighters, I'm actually not going to do the charge. I'm going to choose to discard one of my objectives to draw a new one. And so we do draw a new one. And that is the end of the round. And so we will go scoring of Stephen, scoring hold treasure token 3 or 4. And then Iron Grasp as well, we hold all treasure tokens in friendly territory and or enemy territory. And you hold the enemy territory. So end of the round, I score Emberstone Stash. I can score the team in face of raided 4 or more different Emberstone cards this round. And so the game ends, but victory to the Jaws of Itzl. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.